Hello, my name is Scotty Merker. Thank you for taking a little bit of time to evaluate our network with us here today. You know, my good friend Jeff Gergic says, when a company in this industry is doing really good, when it's going really well, there is nothing in the world like it. But when it's not going well, there's nothing in the world like it. And that's so true. Hey, let's face it, business today, the dynamics of business today, things are changing faster than ever before. Every industry is being affected by things that nobody even foresaw. But the one thing we do know is with what's been going on in our world, more and more people's eyes are opening to the fact that they need to have some sort of hedge. They need to have multiple streams of income. I like to call it intelligent diversification. And the eyes of people today are open, realizing that, hey, we never know what the future holds. And most people aren't positioned financially to weather the storm in many cases. So we have a very fertile ground for people who are looking for ways to create additional income for them and their families. Of course, the home-based business industry provides probably the lowest cost barrier of entry of any type of business that you can start. The thing I love about it personally is it gives you the ability to have leverage, and if done right, and if you find a good company at the right time, potentially you can hit a home run. It's not anything you can do by starting an eBay business or an Amazon business. Not that you can't do well, but you really end up putting a lot of time in and just barely making some somewhat decent money. But compared to the time you put in, it's not that great. So I wanted to talk to you about a concept that, yes, is direct sales. The marketing plan is direct sales, but the business model itself is so far away from direct sales that it couldn't even be closer. We're talking about literally the next evolution of Amazon Prime. We're talking about where Wall Street is focused, where money is headed. Talking about literally the ability to plug into a monthly membership that is not by contract. It's a monthly membership where you have the position, the opportunity to create tremendous value for you and your family. You know, if you take a look at what's going on Wall Street, and I always study the economic trends, is right now membership, non-contractual membership companies are exploding. Peloton, the bike, for every active member that they have that pays monthly, by the way, they have no contract. Their valuation right now is $7,800. If you take a look at Amazon, for every Prime membership, their valuation is over $3,000. Costco, well over $2,000. So what's happening is people recognize the value of creating loyalty, because when you're not under contract, people stay with you if they're receiving value. Well, guess what? Costco has 90.7% retention every year, and they're growing rapidly. They're only in a handful of countries. The rest of the world, get ready, they're coming. And Amazon Prime, even though it's big, it still has only barely touched a small percent of the total world's population. And they're retaining 91.3% on an annual basis. And they're growing fast. And they just increased the price of the membership once again. When they say membership has its privileges, there's no question about it. So what we're talking about is a company that's brought together what I believe, and in my opinion, is probably the greatest assembly of executives in the history of the direct sales industry. As a matter of fact, when they first came together and they looked at this model, there were a few options they had. They just decided they wanted to go down the path of direct sales, because instead of Bezos keeping the billions with Amazon, they said, what if we were to share 40 or 45% back with the members that bring us the memberships? And what would the loyalty look like if we were doing that? So basically imagine, fast forward a little bit. You got to think of Amazon when they started just with books, and imagine Amazon today. I want you to think about the next few years from now, where literally you can go into your own personal membership and buy any product or service that you have a need for, whether it's domestic, international, whether you're traveling for pleasure, for business, halfway across your city, right in your home, online. Whatever it is you have a need for, whether it's the local restaurant, whether it's going to your gas station, your grocery store, heck, to Starbucks to get a coffee, or if you want to travel, I mean, if you want to get cell phone service, if you want to get insurance, if you want to get banking services. I mean, I'm literally talking about an unlimited number of products and services. Imagine if you could save a little bit of money on all of those things, how valuable would that be? I mean, if you think about it, if you could help the average family save $200 to $300 to $400 a month, and I'm talking the average family in the industrialized world. It's even bigger when you take a look at what it can mean for people in countries that are not the primary countries of the world. Well, you help families do that, and do you think they're ever going to get rid of your membership? No, they're not. So let's talk about this. We're going to spend a little time. This is only for people that are serious. See, this is unlike anything that's ever been seen before, and if you get to the end of this valuation and you think it's not, I welcome you to have a conversation. Let's have a private conversation. Now, why would you even want to listen to me? Now, just briefly, I've been in the industry 30 years. I've been very fortunate, had great mentors. 2/3 have been building teams in the field, domestically and internationally. I've traveled to 41 countries building home-based business. I've had downline in almost 150 countries around the world over time. I haven't traveled to them all. And about 2/3 is building, 1/3 has been in ownership. Successfully launched 2 companies that still are in existence today in a different form. We did asset sales of the companies, and they're still operational today. One's publicly traded, the other one is private. So I've just had a unique opportunity to sit on both sides of the fence with both ownership and in the field, private and public companies, and seen a lot of international business. So I know the industry extremely well. What I'm seeing here, and again, I go back 30 years, but I did study the industry going back to the foundation of Amway in 1959, and I've never seen this type of executive team. And let's face it, everything is leadership. Leadership is everything. And I'm going to share with you some extremely compelling reasons why I believe for any hour that you put into business today, if you want to be in the home-based business arena, there's not a single thing that anybody can do that can get them a better return and have a better chance of duplication, and more importantly, of creating replication. That is where you have new people that don't have experience talking to other new people, and they're having success enrolling them and starting them and helping them talk to other new people, all without a leader being involved. And I've only been in the company for about 2.5 months at this point, and I'm already seeing the best duplication and replication that I've seen since the mid-1990s. I'll share with you why that's the case. And I believe once the company gets a little bit further down the path, it'll even be better than what we saw in the 90s. By the way, what we saw in the 90s, the fastest company in one country only ever to go from 0 to $1.4 billion in revenue. No mergers, no acquisitions. I'm talking about only in one country, the United States, and they did that in 8 years. That record still stands today, and there's a reason why. I'll come back to that at the very end. See, the key to success in this is how easy can the masses approach other people. Yes, your product's important. Yes, your compensation plan is important, but if people can't talk to people and feel that they can talk to people and have success, the rest doesn't matter because it'll stall. You'll never get the scalability that you're looking for. You'll never get that massive growth. And in today's world, it's different than when Amway and Herbalife and Nu Skin and Mary Kay and A.O. Williams and all those companies got it back in their day. It's a different world today, so you need a different model. And that's why the model I'm here to talk to you about legitimately has the opportunity in the next 5 to 10 years to be doing well in excess of $100 billion. Yes, I said it, $100 billion a year. And that's significantly more than any company in the history of direct sales has ever done. But you be the judge. So I'm going to start with the executive team. Starts with our CEO, Trent Walker, former Marine, MMA fighter, started to work for Google right out of the Marines in their financial department. Rose up through the ranks very quickly, was heavily involved in the Google Pay project. He actually led the team that deployed that all around the world. And then Facebook hired him to run a similar operation and develop that inside of Facebook. After which he left, started a software company that developed a specific software to meet a need based on all the apps that were being downloaded and the ability to have payment on apps for both the Apple iOS and the Android iOS. Recognized on Wall Street as the #1 financial expert in the world. He is our CEO. The gentleman who is our chief financial officer has taken 6 companies public, one of which was a biotech company. He built it up, sold off a portion of it for over $340 million. The company, we're going public. When I say we, I'm an independent affiliate. We call that a charter member. I'm not an owner. I'm not compensated. I'm not a compensated consultant, either in money, cash, or any type of incentive for travel or anything. Zero. Just a pure independent affiliate and loving it. I got to say, I'm loving it. I do interface with the corporate team if they ever need or ask, just based on the experience I've had. But that's up to them, not up to me. So the second thing is we are going public, and we're kind of a quiet period right now, if you will, but we will before the end of the year, which is 2020 here. We will be listed either on NASDAQ or on the New York Stock Exchange. That'll be made public very soon. The gentleman taking us public, he's taken over 60 companies public. He never took a position on the board or as an advisor to the company. He was retired. He came out of retirement when he heard about this and decided to work with us. Not only that, he took a position as an advisor to the company. One of the key things that's so important about that, not the fact that he's taken over 60 companies public, however, he took Nu Skin public. So he understands this space at a very, very deep level. Our vice president, or actually our chief marketing officer, was a top vice president of sales and marketing for NASCAR for many years. In his personal Rolodex, he has every CEO of all top Fortune 100 and 500 companies and many of the largest charitable organizations in the United States. The wealth of knowledge and the contacts that he brings to us is second to none. Our chief revenue officer is what I believe one of the top five MLM executives in the world. His name's John McKillop. More recently, he had been president for World Ventures Asia. World Ventures is the most successful travel-related direct sales company in the history of direct sales. And he just came on after a 7-month interview process, both ways, because he had the pick of where he wanted to go, and the company wanted him as well. And he came on as our chief revenue officer. Dave Dove, our vice president, executive vice president for sales and marketing for the network channel, has a background in the travel world, but has also built successful organizations in the field. So he understands exactly what it's like to build in the field and also be in an executive position. So he's a tremendous person with huge heart and with great personality, the perfect fit for leading us. I could go into the entire executive team. That kind of sums most of it up. Our head of technology, all 4 years in high school, which he's not that far removed from that. He literally won the Science Student of the Year, the Technology Student of the Year award 4 years in a row. And also Trent, our CEO, has said, hey, this guy's as good, if not better, than every one of the hundreds of programmers he had working for him at Google. So we have the team in place. There's others. I mean, I could go through them all. But I think you get the point. You can check out the bios of everybody we have. The second point is when you take a look at what we actually offer. You take a look at what we offer. It really is a membership. That is our primary product. It's a membership where you can buy just about anything you want. And if we don't have it today, we're going to have it in the future. The concept is simple. Look at what Amazon Prime is doing. Look at what Costco is doing. Look at what Sam's Club, AliExpress. You can see these are growing. They're exploding. But the owners of those companies keep all the revenue, and they've got tremendous retention. Imagine if you shared 40 or 45% of that back with the actual members who acquired the members to the club. How much more retention would you have? It's pretty valuable when you start to think about it. However, it's much more than that. That is just one area, having a global shopping mall. And we've got well over 100 stores that are in there now. Some are international, some are regional, some are national. The picture you paint on that one is over time, we will have companies that ship all around the world. We'll have companies that ship to regions, Southeast Asia, Africa, Middle East, from Alaska to Argentina to the Americas, and some will be national, maybe only Argentina, only France, only Singapore. So we'll have a combination of all of those. Also, exclusive services that we're adding in. If you want to buy a car, if you're looking for insurance, things like this. We're also opening what I call the holy grail of direct sales, and that is an FDIC insured bank. So we're going to have checking accounts, savings accounts, mortgages, personal loans, car loans, pretty much the full array of banking services. And also tied to that checking account, here's the holy grail, is a debit card. And every time you swipe that debit card, imagine getting paid. So imagine anytime you buy anything inside the network, you also generate additional income on the swipe. But imagine outside of the network. You go to the grocery store, you go to a restaurant, you go to put gas in your car, you go to Starbucks to get a coffee. Heck, it's hot out, it's summertime. You stop in to get a bottle of water and you get a swipe. Imagine what that's like. On top of that, anything you buy online. Hey, Amazon Prime, buy something on Amazon Prime, boom, you're creating an income with the swipe. You can put your utilities on your debit card. You can pay for your cell phone bill, for your health insurance, whatever it is you pay for. A swipe is a swipe is a swipe, and it generates commissions. I think you can see the power in that. The next one that I'm going to share with you here, I believe will be one of our biggest ones, and it's travel. We have phase 1 of travel in right now, where 98% of the time we're beating every online site. Phase 2 is coming very soon, where on top of that, we'll maintain those same discounts, and commissions are going to flow up the tree as well. That's being very close to now being introduced. It's coming soon, very soon. The one that I believe will probably be our biggest one over time, though, is this one. You know, if you take a look going back to 1959 with Amway, when direct sales was put together, the model was that you would create products and we would mark them up 10 to 12 times. Logistics, distribution, just everything involved in manufacturing back then, it was a different day than it is today. So to generate a product, if it cost you $10, that was your cost, you would sell it to the distributors for $100 to $120. And then they would then mark it up from there to the retail consumer. Well, today's world's a little bit different. Our CEO, Trent, when he decided that the team was going to go into direct sales to distribute and refer the members into our club, he said, I want to learn about this industry. I mean, I've heard of it. I'm in the fintech world, don't really know much about it. Dove in, did a lot of research, and he said, wow, 10 to 12 time markup. You got really great products. Many of them are truly amazing, life-changing products, but most people can't afford it. And once people leave the business, they're no longer in the opportunity. They quit using the products, even though they're great. It's just for a husband and wife and potentially a couple kids to afford it. It's just not affordable. He said, with today's world, with direct to consumer, with manufacturing and distribution and logistics, We don't need to mark that up 10 to 12 times. And since it's not going to be our entire company based on just a wellness line or a skincare line or a personal care line or a home care line, he said, why don't we just go out there and find the very best selling network marketing products and all the ones that don't have anything exclusive, which is only about 0.5% that do. He said, the other ones, we can reverse engineer them and we'll just replicate them. He said, but we'll make them better. So we'll make them better and we'll bring them to market. And instead of 10 to 12 time markup, we'll do maybe 3 or 4 time markup. So a $10 cost product will sell for $30 to $40. So we're going to start going after every one of the top selling products. It's very simple. Just watch the ones that sell the most. We'll just go out and duplicate them. We'll bring them to market, and we're going to save about 60 to 70% for the consumer. I believe in the next 12 to 24 months, that'll be our largest single revenue division. Final one I'm going to share with you is what we call our preferred provider network. Well, there's actually 2 more, sorry, preferred provider network. The preferred provider network is local businesses. We have that through our perks right now, but we're going to expand that. So literally any business in any local community anywhere in the world will be able to sign up. Local restaurants, whether it's a lawn care service, heating and air conditioning company, a local accounting service, an attorney that's in the city there, the state, the town, the province, the territory, the village, whatever it is. It could be a little bed and breakfast, a little clothing store, boutique. I mean, anyone. The only thing we ask is to have access to our exclusive network of members is that you give us the best discount you give to anybody. If you're giving something to the local school, the local church, whoever it is, you give us at least that good and preferably a little bit better. And what we're going to do is we're going to drive all of our members to you. That's phase 1. Phase 2, imagine when you go in and you swipe your rNetwork debit card from our bank. And imagine now, not only when you get a savings, but imagine when commissions run up the tree. So you go to a restaurant in your hometown. Well, number 1, you're getting a discount. Number 2, you swipe the card. Number 3, commissions are being earned upline. Imagine as you start to go around your town, around anywhere that you travel for business or pleasure, do you think that you'll first look inside the network to see who the preferred providers are? I would imagine you would. Who wouldn't, right? If you're generating commission, you want to lead by example and be congruent. And when you're in alignment with the model, people will follow you versus if you ask them to do it and you don't do it yourself. But that's a training topic. We're not going into training now. So you can see this ever-growing array of businesses. People say, well, how are you going to get them all over the world? Well, we're already in 30 countries with more coming, very quickly more coming. And what happens is every one of our members will have a family member, a friend, a neighbor, somebody at church, somebody they work with, that they or somebody in their family owns a business. And they'll say, hey, how would you like to get access to the fastest growing network of the most loyal customers anywhere in the world? We'll get involved in our network and become a preferred provider. And that'll take place. The final one I'm very excited about is what I call a premium vertical channel. Our first one is our Financial Academy. Because see, not only do we want to help the average family save money, we want to help them make money, which is through the network, but we also want to help them make money on their money. Our Financial Academy, we just opened the very first leg of that, is so people can literally come in and they can start playing in the market. And literally from just following the trades of some of the most successful experts in the world, all the way up to learning through the education that's evolved in the class, you can get as high to expert level as you want, or you can just follow the trades of the people who are winning a significant number every single day, 5.5 days a week. That's just the very first, and there'll be more of those coming. Hey, if you build a big team, guess what? A percent of them, if 17% want financial services, do you want them to have it? You better believe it. If 33% want premium travel, do you want them to have access to it? Yes. See, our goal is if there's a market for it, we want to bring it to market as good or better and make it commissionable. Help people save money and make it commissionable. What does it take to get started? $25. $25 to sign up if you want to be in the business. If you just want to be a member, it's free. We call that a FAN, F-A-N-N. That's a free membership. If you want to be a charter member, that's somebody who is in the business. You could be in the business. $25 to sign up, and then it's a $50 a month membership. And so $75 to start. When you get started, literally you get out there, as soon as you get 3 charter members like yourself, you get a $50 bonus. So net, you now have a free membership. Whether you do that in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, it doesn't matter. As soon as you have 3, every month you start getting a $50 bonus. You're paying your $50, you're getting a $50 bonus, they net out to even. On top of that, we use a 3x10 force matrix. And everything for force matrices from the past has been fixed. It absolutely is the #1 team building compensation plan in network marketing. There's no leg match. There's no certain amount of volume that has to come from one leg. There is no minimum amount you can count from one leg. There's no requirement of leadership development or leaders that have leaders. There are 0 requirements other than 1 charter member gives you 1 level. 2 charter members gives you 2 level, and 3 charter members give you 10 levels. That's it, bottom line. And you get $2 per every membership, charter membership inside the 10 levels, dynamically compressed. And yes, somebody says, well, is that a product? You better believe it. Do you think Amazon Prime that you buy is a product? Yes, indeed. Do you think that Costco and Sam's, when you buy the membership there, it's a product? You better believe it. Their biggest revenue source, it's a product. And there's additional premium ones on top of that. Then, of course, everything that your charter members and their 10, 15, 20, 30 fans that they get, the free members, every purchase they make, guess what? Inside of 10 levels, you have the opportunity to get paid. So support's in place. We've got weekly webinars taking place, recorded presentations. We've got everything that you need, whether it's PowerPoints. We've got YouTube channels. The company has a weekly company or corporate update call where the company comes out and shares with us everything that's going on. They keep us updated. The CEO does a call once a month. We as leaders have calls going on as well. We have all the leadership groups. There's company Facebook pages, group Facebook pages. Anything and everything you would want is in place. The final thing is it comes down to is timing. And the trends are all in the right place. If you study these economic trends, it's not me, Scotty Merker, telling you that. You do your research. You show me any other business in the direct sales industry, any, where a greater percentage of the people that you have in your list, your database, who would have a better chance at having more success with more of their people than what we have right here. Check it out. You evaluate it and ask yourself that. I said I'd save this for last. Remember when I said that I'm seeing the best duplication and replication I've seen since the 90s? Well, the second best right now, but very close to becoming the best. The reason why is in the 90s, I was involved in a company called Excel Telecommunications. And I joined when that company had just done $37 million. First year I joined, it was doing $156 million. The next year we did $504 million. The year after that, $1.4 billion. So from 36 million to 156 to 504 to 1.4 billion. So I joined right after it started in momentum. And the reason of many, but one of the main reasons that company had so much success is people who had never been in business before, people who were not entrepreneurial, people who didn't have tremendous education, maybe not great speaking capabilities. What they could do and what they felt they could do and believed they could do is they could walk up to people and say, hey, let me ask you a question. Do you ever make long distance phone calls? To which most people did. You already know the answer to that. Well, sure. It's 40 to 50 cents a minute. Do you know anybody else that makes long distance phone calls? Well, yeah, everybody. Hey, if just by chance there was a way you could get paid every time you and everybody you know makes a long distance phone call for the rest of your life, would you like to know about it? Well, almost everybody said yes. Some people gave you some smart aleck answers, but you had the biggest percent of people who would sit down and evaluate your business and your products and services. And that's the first cog in the wheel. If you can't get people to sit down, and if other people, I mean, you might be able to, but if the masses can't, you're never going to have massive growth. Well, imagine this. Hey, by any chance, do you have a debit card with your checking account? Well, sure you do. Almost everybody does, right? Yeah. Do you know anybody else that has a debit card with their checking account? Sure. Hey, if there was a way that every time you and everybody you know uses their debit card, I mean, whether they go to the gas station, the grocery store, whether they go to a movie theater, or they go to a restaurant, they go and get a Starbucks. I mean, they just stop in a convenience store to get a bottle of water. They swipe that card, and also online. They buy something from Amazon Prime. I mean, every time they swipe that card for the rest of their life, if you could get paid, would you want to know about it? Anybody can say that. I don't think it gets any easier than this. I can tell you this, the company is just coming out of formulation. The 4 quadrants of growth is formulation, concentration, momentum, and then stability or sustained growth. We're just coming out of formulation. The first year was brutal. Fortunately, I was not there. I'm thankful. That's the bleeding edge. We're past that. We're on the leading edge. We're getting ready to move into concentration. The sweet spot between concentration and critical mass, which is when the company's sales go vertical and you're in momentum. We've got maybe 12 to 18 to 24 months. If you've ever wanted to be with something unlike anything this industry has ever seen, get back with the person that shared this with you. If you're still listening, that means you're very serious about the valuation. It's this simple. We are providing people the ability to have memberships. And for that membership, they're going to save money on just about everything they buy, everything they use, everything they need. If we don't have it today, we'll have it in the future. But our goal is to help the average family save $2,000 to $4,000 a year by having a $50 a month membership. And the easy way you get that membership for free is get 3 other people that you've got to get the membership, and now yours is free. The most duplicable model that I've seen in my 30-year history. I haven't seen it all, but I've seen just about all of it. So get with the person that invite you to review this, get your questions answered, get with them and their leaders, and most importantly, just keep it simple, easy, and fun. There's only 3 things that we do to be successful here. We say simple, easy, and fun because it's only 3 simple steps. Easy enough you can teach a 6-year-old how to do it, and fun because it's working. It's duplicating and it's replicating. Number one, use rNetwork. Buy everything you can inside the network. If you find something you need outside of it and you get a tremendous savings, do that. Don't be done with it. But if you can find anything that's relatively the same cost or a savings, buy it in the network. Be a product of the product. Number two, share rNetwork. Basically get people to watch this and read the prospectus. Get 3 no JOB. It's pretty simple. Read the prospectus, watch this, get some questions answered. So share rNetwork and have your team help you answer questions. And then number 3 is just teach and help your new charter members how to use and share rNetwork. So you've been trained. It's that simple. It's that easy. And it's certainly a lot of fun. Like my friend Jeff said, when it's working right, there's nothing in the world like it. And he's right. We are having a lot of fun. The fun days are back again. So thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate it. Everybody's time is equally as valuable as each other's. Done right, this has the possible opportunity for everybody to generate something significant. And for the few that really see it, this is one of the few, I believe, that can create the generational wealth. So thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it. Have a beautiful day. Ciao.